Welcome back to Style of Play. You're now listening to episode 52 with myself, Theo and Kojo, man. What you saying?
Yeah, man. I'm good, man. I'm good. What you saying?
I'm good, man. It's Friday. Always
Mm,
the best day of the week, you know, then we're there.
mm.
If we want to talk football manager, we can. I
I'm
can
still
talk
in a
football
job,
manager.
man. I'm still in a job.
I don't know about you, man, but yeah, for anyone that's listening, I don't know, myself, Kojo, and a network game, football manager, things are looking all right, man. We can't complain. Had a slow start, you know. We're here.
I'm still having a slow start. So,
That Vicario thing. Listen, I've never anyone who plays Football Manager. I've never seen a goalkeeper last kick of the game score. A goalkeeper in Football
I put
Manager.
it head up. I couldn't believe it. I could
They
not
had you
believe it.
off, man. They were. That game's moving mad. The algorithm is not
Bro,
algorithm.
I genuinely almost threw my laptop. I held it for a minute. I was like, no, 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 you need this. You need this. You need this.
Do you know what I thought
Uh,
was going to happen? I thought the game was going to suddenly crash. I thought, oh, he's had a he's had a moment where the servers have gone down or something. I don't know, man. We've all been there when you're hosting a network game. You know,
mm.
the laptop crashed suddenly. What happened?
I don't know what happened, man. I was just here and this went off, bro. Sorry, man. Just have to reload that. Sorry, man.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But anyone that's listening on as part of the live, although this is not live, it will be live to an extent when this officially goes out. Thank you for joining. If you're involved in the comments section, make sure you get involved, whatever we're going to discuss on this episode. Also subscribe, like the video. Let us know your thoughts in the comments if you're here afterwards as well. And also the audio version is there. If you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, any other podcast outlet, you'll find us on there. Just search Style of Play Football. It should come up. But let's start with something that Basil said after our last recording. And it fits very well after the performance last night. And the way that the fans now at Spurs are treating Mr. Ange Postecoglou at the moment. What's happened to Spurs? Because they're really inconsistent this season. You know, they go on and do get a good victory, good win somewhere, and then the next weekend or the next week, they're just looking like a team that should be representing the championship. No disrespect to anyone there, but what's happened to Ange and Spurs?
I can't tell you. I don't. It's weird because I think earlier this season in the podcast we were talking about the fact that they've got a really high goal difference, but they're mid-table. It's so weird. And I I don't want to say they can't use it as an excuse because losing your best two centre backs is going to damage you. But you didn't have your best two centre backs when you beat Man City 4-0. You know what I mean? You still want to find the result. So there has to be something that's just not clicking. But I don't know. I don't know if I can keep saying mentality. I know everyone jokes about Spursy and what Spursy is, but guys, at some point we just have to sit there and analyze and say what the hell is happening with this club. Why is it that they keep getting a different set of players but keep having the same struggles? They get a good manager and have because they haven't had bad managers. Listen to the names, bro. After Harry Redknapp, you had Pochettino. You've had after Redknapp AVB as well. You had
Yep,
Pochettino. You've had Mourinho, you've had Conte, and now you got Ange Postecoglou,
winners.
who he might not be Mourinho or Conte in context of what they've won and what they've accomplished and what they've done in the game, but he had a great reputation, plays good football, the football that you guys are wanting to see, you
Yep,
know,
yep.
and he fits in the new era of managers wanting to play a certain way or a certain brand of football, and he's got you some great results along the way. There is an issue that as a club, Spurs can't get past, and I don't know what it is. But then at the same time, Spurs fans can also kind of hold a little bit of blame here. And let me tell you what my angle is, because they don't control the players on the pitch. But my angle is this: I understand being frustrated at players. I understand being frustrated at their level of ability and what they apply on the pitch and all sorts. But the player that has received the most abuse this year is your top goal scorer. The players that are not performing are the players that you spent 65 million of up front. The players that are not performing is your captain. And uh, Madison has been a bit up and down, but Madison's role is a bit weird. He's been expected to be like a deep line playmaker, but also create up top. It's a bit of a weird one. I don't know what the medium is for him. Maybe they're missing the fact that Bentancur is not fit, or
Yeah,
Basuma's
yeah.
in and out of the team. Not Malang Sarr, Papa Sarr is out of the team sometimes as well. It seems like there's a bit of misbalance in the midfield, but they they seem very inconsistent on who they cheer for and who they boo for, apart from two or three individuals, and I don't think that's fair. Yes, Brennan Johnson is not going to be your best player. Brennan Johnson, maybe for the fee that you've paid, wasn't giving you the performances that you're looking for, but he's your top goal scorer this season. He's the only one to win double digits within all competitions, but you continue to criticize him. It's like he can't win, no matter what he does. And Son is, yeah, he's your captain. But I said already earlier this season that I feel like he's formally what he was now. He's not the same guy he the last 2 years. Physically, he's falling off. Technicals are still good, but physically, he's not the same. And that's fine. Solanke, I'm not trying to put blame game on him, but he scored 4 league goals, and he's joined you when, and how much. And I think in one of those games he scored 2 even. It's not.
The expectation's got to be there though. He can't come from the season that he had at Bournemouth and then come and play the way that he is. And Brennan Johnson, so a lot of us looked at him when he first signed and said, "Oh, it's a massive step up for him." But he's actually been the one that's done okay. He's done well in terms of goals.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the whole thing. But what I will say is, I think Ange needs to maybe change the style a little bit of playing out from the back, especially because you don't have Vicario. Because one of the chances they conceded, which led to a goal that was cancelled for offside, was Foster playing it to midfield and Evan Nilsson capitalising on it and then getting the goal, which obviously, like I said, was ruled out. But if your guy is on the pitch in replacement of the original first team can't do it, you just got to find another way to play. And that's where he takes blame. If you don't change your approach, and your team suffers, that's got to be a you problem at this point.
I do. I mean, they're 10th currently in the league. Obviously, the last night Bournemouth have gone above them now and as 9th in the league. But I do look at some of their fixtures. Obviously, they've got Chelsea at the weekend. They've got Rangers in the Europa League. They've got Southampton on the 15th of December. These are games that they should be able to win. Obviously, the Chelsea game is, you look at Chelsea, they're in form at the moment. They might be able to get a job done at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. But, like you said, Brennan Johnson, 6 goals, Heung-min Son, 4 assists. I don't know. I don't know whether, like you said, maybe playing out from the back is an issue. I look at a lot of teams now. I'm trying to think who I was watching the other night. I watched that much football this week. It's been a blessing, but it was also a curse. There was a game I was watching the other night. It could have been a Chelsea game, actually. It might have been a Chelsea game, Southampton. And it was Southampton. Because we was talking about in the group chat. Sometimes you can't just play out from the back. If you haven't got the defenders, you haven't got the goalkeeper that's confident enough to play out from the back, don't do it. Don't do it. Because what happens is you're putting your defenders under pressure, you're conceding stupid goals, and ultimately, the man that's going to be the one that people are going to point the finger at, whether it's the goalkeeper, the defender, or the strikers not scoring enough goals, is going to be Ange Postecoglou. He's going to be the man that is going to be held accountable for all of these mistakes that are happening on the pitch. No one cares about the players that are on 3 or 4 year contracts. They're going to be there when the new manager comes in. The manager is the one that the fans, as you got to see rightfully yesterday, were the ones that were hurling the abuse at him and no one else, just him. He had to go over. I don't know if you got to see that. He went over to the fans and...
I saw it.
I bet you did.
I saw that.
Yeah. But what do you think happens with Ange, man? Because I think even some of his comments the press asked him after the game, like, what did the fans say and all that, and he was just like, they're rightfully upset. They gave him some direct feedback. He's had to take it on board, but he obviously couldn't share them in the press conference. Do you think pressure is mounting on him a little bit now?
I want to say yeah, because I know how Daniel Levy has sacked managers in the past. Very weirdly as well, in my opinion. But I honestly think it will be a mistake to fire him. Why? Because where do you go from here? I know that's always a question we always ask. If you sell him, who are you replacing him with? If you sack him, there's always going to be a manager available. But you've hired a manager who I guess you wanted for a certain brand of football. What's going to happen is you're going to hire another manager for the same thing. That's what's going to happen. And there has to come a time where we need... I know Spurs fans do it, but I think it needs to be get a bit more outside pressure as well.
Yeah.
Daniel Levy has never really really truly backed Tottenham Hotspur in a transfer window. They've brought in some fantastic players over the years. Some of them have developed over at Spurs and then gone on to do bigger things. But he hasn't really given them a window where you can say he signed 5 or 6 players of a genuine quality to improve the team. Whether they become starters or they are part of the squad rotational type players, because if you lose Son, you can bring this guy in because yes, the quality might be a little lower, but it's not such a big drop in quality. Whereas, for example, when they lost Harry Kane, if Harry Kane was fit, who's your striker? There's no one that's going to be like him. You play Son there because Son's your best player, but Son should not be the replacement, because now you lose Son in the left. Who's replacing him on the left?
But you remember though, that when they lost Harry Kane, they actually were playing really well without him. Because you remember there was that big question about who's going to replace Harry Kane. I still think they need a replacement, but at the time they didn't, because there were goals coming in. Son was filling in the void. You remember when Ange Postecoglou first got there, Harry Kane left. Spurs were doing okay. I feel like they were top of the league at one point.
No, they started all right, and they were getting results, and they were playing a good brand of football. Obviously, there's positive and negatives to it, where it's like, okay, I've just lost this gargantuan talent, so
yeah.
to find another way to make you win, and you'll find another way to make the team win on that side. On the other side, it's that guy was so good. Some players are difficult to replace, and Harry Kane, you're not getting another goal scorer like him in this current moment in time, but some players are so good that the most you can do is sign a player that the drop-off doesn't feel significant. I'm not trying to cuss Solanke out here, but it is a significant
go for it, man. It's Friday.
No, but it's a significant drop between him and Harry Kane.
But there's certain players that you can't replace. We said this last week with Mo Salah. Yeah. There's certain players you cannot... You could bring in someone that can score you 20 goals, but it's not just the goals with Harry Kane as well. There was other things that added to how Spurs were able to play so well, get close to Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues and finals and all that, and they obviously didn't achieve anything by doing so, but they were so close to doing it at some points. Sometimes you just can't replace that. You can't replace a Harry Kane and Mo Salah. You won't be able to replace Kevin De Bruyne to an extent. You probably won't see another Alisson and Ederson for a long time as a goalkeeper. They're just not replaceable.
Yeah. And even on that, when you said Salah, I was even thinking about Mane and Firmino, because Liverpool have signed forwards and they're getting goals, but
they're not the same.
Added to the fluidity of the front three, there was no question as to who was starting when them men were about. You know what I mean? Whereas with Liverpool, it's Salah, who's going to be this week, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Next to him. So it is difficult, but unfortunately that's a challenge you need to work on. That's why I got into Levy, because I don't feel like he's done enough work to even get close to that.
I agree.
But look, that's why managers suffer. So if they do like Ange, I do think it'll be a mistake. But
I think they might. I think if we beat them on Sunday, which would be a lovely Sunday if we beat them.
Look at all your smiling.
If we beat them, listen, people that know me know my I was going to say hate, but that's probably the wrong word, but my dislike for Spurs. I hate them. I do hate them. I'm trying to stay impartial on this podcast. On my Chelsea one, I can run anything, but on this one, I'll keep it nice because we talk about them. I'm trying to be diplomatic, but no, I think if we do beat them on Sunday, obviously if they lose to Rangers in the week as well, then I feel like Daniel Levy's one of these kind of owners that will listen more to the noise that the fans are making than what's actually happening on the pitch, or giving the manager a bit more time. But then I said that about Lopetegui. I thought he might have gone, and he's still there. They're still talking of him. Potentially, this might be the weekend he goes as well. But if they sack him, there's not many decent managers around. There isn't many. So sometimes West Ham has seen that now. They sacked David Moyes, who wasn't the best manager. I think I said this last week, but he was able to get where they needed to be. He got them a trophy, the Conference League trophy of all trophies. But he got them a trophy. There's not many managers out there, and you reeled off the names: Conte, Jose, Pochettino, AVB. They've had some good managers at Spurs, and to come out of it with nothing to show for it at the end. you summed it up and said Spursy. They are Spursy. That is Spursy. If someone said what's Spursy, there it is. Who can they go and get? Graham Potter. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna have to go for someone like that because no big name is gonna go there now. They had the opportunity with Conte, Jose, those two at the time. Because Pochettino wasn't really the Pochettino that he was when he went there. If that makes sense, he done stuff.
Can I say something here? I feel like the most catastrophic thing they did, other than sacking Pochettino, was sacking Mourinho before.
Yeah, come on, 100%, and then putting Ryan Mason in charge.
Mason.
No disrespect to him, but you can't go for it. And Jose knew he was going to win that final. I guarantee you, he would have won that final. He would have won the trophy. When was the last Spurs trophy? You talking 2008? Come on, man. Come on.
You had the moment where he got you to a final, and I feel like because Spurs are like any club. You need a trophy to kickstart something, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. I can testament to that because the guy that won us 2 trophies is not here anymore. But at least it gives you a platform to try and think about building something. And they fumbled that. You, in those last years, you challenged for the title twice. You got to a Champions League final. And then you got to a domestic cup final. And before your domestic cup final, with arguably one of the greatest in finals, period, to do it in management, you sack him. It's unforgivable. And that's why I brought up Levy, because it's not only about backing the managers in the window, it's about making smart decisions. That's a terrible decision. I don't care how much you want to pay compensation wise.
No, even just for the legacy of the club, for the fans that were going there that day. Even if you sack him afterwards, I think fans would have accepted that more than sacking him before and missing out on the trophy. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I can't remember where Spurs finished that season, whether that winning that League Cup would have meant that they would have got European football that season. I can't remember off the top of my head where they were, but had they not finished in those league positions, I think they did. But I'm trying to remember quickly. I can't remember. But if they didn't, then that's a gateway into Europe. There's money involved in winning that trophy for the club. So essentially you sacked him, but you could have got the trophy and still sacked him anyway. And you could have used the money that you won from the tournament to go towards his compensate or whatever. Do you know what I mean? I think I don't think they'll sack him, but I think if he loses those next 3, Chelsea, Rangers and Southampton, especially the Southampton game, I don't see any way back for him. I'll be honest.
No, I think that's fair. I think that's fair to say.
But this has been coming for Spurs though. You said something really well, that like they're getting onto their best goal scorer, they're getting onto Heung-min Son, they're getting onto James Maddison, but they're not getting onto certain players that they should be. Do you know what I mean? They're just not. And they haven't recruited well. Yes, they brought in players. Yes, they brought in, certain individuals. But as a team, when you look at it from front to back, it's not a solid team. It's not an amazing team at all. But so Sunday will be interesting. We'll leave it there. Sunday will be interesting. If we beat them, he could be going to the job centre. That's all I'm saying. He might be going to the job centre.
Manner. If you guys go there and smack them, I think it's that.
Based on how we're playing,
I
could see that, but I'm not saying anything. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself. Let's move on, because there's been a lot of controversy this week and obviously the last weekend as well. For anyone that doesn't know, so I think I'm going to try and get this right. I'm going to try and bring up an article that will help me, hopefully. But so the Premier League has been promoting, equal opportunity, fairness within the footballing world. So Top Flight is in partnership with the LGBTQ and charity Stonewall to promote equality, diversity and LGBTQ acceptance into football. So the captains and I think the players in some aspects have had to represent the rainbow symbol, which is part of the LGBTQ. Now, there was a lot of backlash on social media, because I think originally the first point of call was the Ipswich captain basically said that Sam Morsey said, due to religious reasons, I ain't wearing a rainbow armband, which caused a bit of uproar. Then we had the second situation with Mark Guehi, who wrote "I Love Jesus," or another religious sort of message on the rainbow captain's armband, which I want to get your thoughts on in a minute around that as well. And then I think there was Mazraoui, United team as well, defended Mazraoui's decisions based on his religious beliefs, that he didn't want to be partaking any sort of appreciation, inclusion of LGBTQ into football. I feel like this is a story that shouldn't even be getting the airtime that it's getting, to be fair, but I want to talk to you about it because it is still obviously a massive issue in the world, not just in football society. It's a societal issue. But what do you think about that backlash, and is it warranted as well?
Boy. First things first. Nothing the media loves more than bashing on black and Muslim people. But
Fact.
more to the point. So look, I think what I've realized, or maybe I realized a long time ago, but it's really hit on the note for me, is people struggle with the idea that people think differently to them. And when Morsi says whatever he said, and if say, if that's his beliefs, so be it. You can't fight that.
Yeah.
That's just what he believes, and it's fine. He hasn't come out and criticized the movement. He hasn't come out and said, "How dare you try and make me wear this?" He's just said, "Look, these are my beliefs, and I'm not going to wear it." Mazraoui said he's not going to wear the jacket because of his religious beliefs. Fine. He didn't force the club to not wear it. He didn't force the other players to not wear it. The club said, all right, because he's not going to wear it, all the other players are not going to wear it. And it's really come out that all the players were not with that. So if he decided not to wear it, doesn't mean the others couldn't. I don't care how people feel that looks, that you got 11 players walking out, but one of them's not wearing the jacket. Why? That's his choice. That's his choice. Again, whether you agree or not, that's not the point here. If he doesn't want to wear it, you can't force him. You cannot. And with Gay, so even Gay came out and did a statement saying that it wasn't to it's not even about the point of forcing religious beliefs on top of your head. It's more a case of what I was telling you is, especially with the second message of Jesus loves you, it's like Jesus loves everybody. It's trying to separate people, but there are two big issues here. One, you need to understand that whilst you don't find it acceptable for people to force their religious beliefs on you, you also cannot find it acceptable to force your beliefs on inclusivity on other people. I if it was me, I'd wear the jacket because I have no issue with it. But he does in his religious beliefs, so I'm not going to go and tell him, well, I don't care what your religious beliefs are. You're going to put that jacket on, and if you don't, you're not going to play. You're not going to. You know what I mean? The only thing I said in the discussion with some of my boys was, if you don't want to wear the armband because of those reasons, I would prefer. I think the better way would have just been telling the club behind closed doors, so it doesn't come out into the press, that I don't want to wear the armband whilst this is the movement because it doesn't agree with my religious beliefs. But I'm not going to come out and criticize why you're doing it. I understand why you're doing it. So when let the media and everyone else question why they want to, what they want to say, but keep it in house, and then we don't need to know anything about it because it's not my concern. You know what I mean? And that's the way I saw it. What I don't like, and I'll tell you what I don't like, is then media personalities, particularly one from Sky Sports, who came out and said he doesn't want to wear the armband because of religious beliefs, but it allows him to cheat on his wife every week. What the heck is that?
Yeah, that was about someone else, wasn't it? That was about someone else that had come out. Apparently, it's a second footballer, another Premier League footballer, who basically also didn't want to partake in supporting of LGBTQ, and then I can't remember the Sky presenter's name, but obviously he's in support of LBGT and T and Q. Which is fine. That's his prerogative to do that. If he wants to do that, that's fine. But then I think to try and throw another player under the bus and say, well, he sleeps around and he does this. What's that got to do with? Where's the correlation here? Yeah, come on. It's a danger. For me personally. I think a lot of it is very, very dangerous in terms of almost like you must do this because of these things. When I was growing up, like gay pride was literally just one day. Just one day, literally just one day. Just like, a lot of things like Remembrance Sunday, little poppy. I say little, that's, do you know what I mean? Like everyone wears a poppy, the Sunday thing, that's Remembrance Sunday's one day. But I do feel with other things, and I said the same about taking the knee as well. So before anyone tries to jump on this bandwagon about this, that, I said the same thing about that. There's certain things I just don't think should be in football or in sports. I get there's things that you need to raise awareness on 110 million%. I get it. But for me, I always say, what has taken a knee solved? What is pushing the LGBTQ thing solving in football? It's not solving anything. That's why I started it with, it's a societal issue. There's things in issue in society that need to resolve these things. Now, I've grown up to always just love everyone for who they are. So my thing is like, I shouldn't need to, if I was Sam Morsey or I was Mark Guehi or Mazraoui, and I shouldn't even need to wear the armband if I don't want to, because my inside my beliefs is that everyone is equal anyway until you prove me that you're different, and you prove why you're the same as me, or you want to be a pedophile or a sex offender, or you want to do all these weird things, then you're not the same as me, and then my opinion of you will change. But that's based on you as the person, not your race, religion, your sex, none of those things. So when I was reading all these articles about Sam Morsey and Mark Guehi got warned by the FA. Do you know how many things happen to these footballers? Their social media accounts, they're getting abused every single weekend, most of them. And did the FA even do anything about that?
Thank you very much.
Do you know what I'm saying? But him writing on a captain's armband that he loves Jesus. Oh, we can't have that. We can't have that. You can get abused. You can get called all the racist things in your inbox. Don't worry about that. But you're not writing that on the... Come on, that don't make any sense to me at all. This is all about control. It's all about control and marketing. That's what it comes down to. Marketing. Because let's be honest, no one cares. No one cares about it. Anyone who's normal and sane, and I don't mean no one cares about it in the fact that like no one cares about that community. No one should care, because they should just be part of community. That's it. That's how I see it. But I know people are going to say, oh yeah, but we need to raise awareness, because it's... I don't think we do.
The thing is, raising awareness is not even an issue. Raise awareness is fine. You want people to understand that there are, so many different, when you talk about transgender, so many different genders.
But by raising awareness, is that kind of like segregating them away when they should just be, if we just stop talking about it and just accepted them?
So that's why, yeah. So what you said there, I can definitely feed off, because I feel like the way it's done sometimes is a bit poorly. And I'm not talking about like the Gay Pride Day or I'm talking about that stuff. I'm talking about what the associations do. There's a football association and all those guys. Raising awareness is not the issue here. Mm-hmm. What you do is you almost relegate these things to a couple of game weeks.
Yeah.
In about 3 weeks, you're not going to see that armband again.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that we should see the armband every week either. What I'm saying is, if you're going to put a campaign forward showing that you want to raise awareness, that you want to promote people being inclusive, and that everyone can do this, and you should feel comfortable being yourself, and if you want to come out, we'll support you, all that. That's good. But it doesn't just stay on, I'm going to wear an armband, or before the game, they wear a jacket, but then they take the jacket off and then they play their game.
They forget about it.
Bro, it's about doing stuff in the community, and not doing stuff in the community where a club does it and then they put on Match of the Day for a section for 5 minutes and they're like, oh, this club's doing it. No. As an association, as a big business, you should be saying, all right, cool, if we really believe in this, we're going to push this, and rightfully so. Do 1, 2, 3, 4 things and make sure it's continuous. It can't just be relegated to one moment. The Black Lives Matter thing, when they put the knee down, they say, oh, it's Black History Month. You must go on your knee and you put your fist up and everything. Okay, how long are you going to carry that for? Because that died out very quickly. That died out very, very quickly. And that's why Wilfred Zaha said, what are we doing this for?
Yep.
Or what's the point? Because you're not doing anything with it. Oh, bend the knee and this. Okay, cool.
It didn't change anything because he still got abused. He's one player that actually got abused whilst that was happening.
there you go. So what's next? And this is the whole point. And those people that do abuse, if I send you their Instagram account, are you gonna find their IP address? Are you gonna go and arrest them like you've done very few individuals? No, you're not. No, you're not. The very few individuals that get caught out is because the individual that got abused themselves has to go and show evidence A, B,
Yeah.
C, D. You can't do that for everybody. But at least if I have your support, then I'll be like, look, this person did, this person did, this person did it. Make a point, make an example. So if someone is gay, lesbian, bisexual, the whole sort of umbrella of that, and they get in abuse for their sexuality or something, when they share it to you and say this person abused me, you should do the same thing for them as well. But if you don't do anything with that, it's a waste of time. You're not pushing anything forward, and now you're making statements. What's the statement for? What's the statement? So that's what I'm saying. They need to do more. And then the people that are mad, I think a lot of them is mad because they don't understand that someone else doesn't have their way of thinking. The Bible is over 3,000, 2,000, 3,000 years old. Like, society has changed. Well, that's what he believes, my guy. What do you want to tell you? That's what he believes. Oh, yeah, but there's now gay Muslims. Well, yes, there are. But that's what he believes. So what do you want to tell you?
But this is my point. That's my point. That you just hit the nail on the head as well. Because, like, it kind of feels like I said, it's like almost like forcing someone to go against what they believe in.
Yeah.
Now he's as far as I'm aware, neither Morsey, Mark Guehi or Mazraoui have any issues with the LGBTQ community at all. I don't know them, but he's got beliefs in his faith, in the religion that he follows, that has made him feel he doesn't want to do something. The same way that they're telling someone they have to wear this armband, they should also respect that he might say no, and actually, I don't want to wear that. I don't want to wear this jacket. I don't want to be in this promotional video. It should just be. For me, it's a crazy thing, and I, like I said, I've been raised to like just remember that everyone is the same until they tell you that they're not the same. They show you that they're not the same.
Yeah.
I don't deem anyone homophobic or racist or whatever until they prove to me that that's what they are, and then that's when my opinion of them will change, whether they're black, blue, green, white, whatever, Muslim, Christian, anything. It doesn't matter. For me, the person is the person, and until they tell me that they're this or they're gonna do that or whatever, then my opinion will change of that person. So I think, even like I keep saying, there was something about I'll come in with this other campaign was the other day, and I thought that's a good one to do, because that one doesn't get spoken about, and that one is a massive thing. I think it was about abusive men and abusing women. There was like a campaign for that. I don't know if you got to see, some of the managers had like a white ribbon, and it was to do that. I thought that was a really good one, because that's something that should always continually be highlighted, because it always happens. It's been happening for years. But when you've got an inclusion of a community, they should just be included in the community. I don't like the fact that there's Black History Month. I really don't, because for me, I champion that every day in my house. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's just something I champion every single day. Like, I don't need October to do that. I do it through January to December every day, like in my household. That's just simple. So I don't like things like that. I don't see how we can move past these things where people are getting pulled up for writing "I love Jesus," or for someone because they're Muslim, they have to wear this thing. I don't think we can get past those kind of issues until we just actually include people are just people, and they're just all the same until they tell you that they're not. To me, that's
honestly, the people that don't agree with. When I say don't agree, I'm not talking about like, because there's don't agree, but going over.
There's levels. There's levels
hating and all that stuff. You shouldn't hate people for being who they truly believe they are, and what what they are and who they are. Like, you shouldn't believe. You shouldn't hate for any of those things, and that's okay. The people that actively hate, I've got a problem with you guys.
Yeah,
and,
different.
If these guys had come on the pitch, or not on the pitch, and come out and said, "I hate the LGBTQ community," I'd be like, "Well, bro, you need to relax a little bit, mate. What are you talking about? Okay, because they're not even your concern. Let's be real. People are people. If a man loves a man, that's not your business. If a woman loves a woman, that's not your business.
Yeah,
it's not your business at all. And hell, if a man loves a woman, it's also not your business, because it's not your business.
Come on. It's true though. This is what I'm trying to say. It's true. It's true.
Wait, just chill out a little bit, man. But no, honestly, look, I think these guys will become enemies of people because the media has made it look a lot worse than it is, and
They'll become targeted now. Now people will go out and target them for that reason because of the narrative that's been spun in the press, and that's my worry for that community, for any community that has to be raised. There has to be awareness raised on them. Is that you actually put a target on their back without realizing you're doing that. Yeah. Which is why I said don't segregate them, because if you segregate a community or you segregate a race of people, you're actually putting targets on their back without you realizing you're doing it. Do you get what I mean? So it's dangerous. The last thing I want to say on it though is I do find people on social media, and I tried so hard not to even mention and entertain this discussion on there, but some people love to like. There's a couple of people, I'm not going to name their names, but there's a couple of people that like I know it's a false, like they're backing something like with no intention of. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say, but basically they're just shit houses. Basically they're online. They're backing this thing, but I know deep down they're just backing it to get a bit of traction online, if that makes sense. And I don't like that. I don't like that because there's people that like, look at this, look at what I'm getting in my inbox because I'm supporting this community. Well, just don't put that. Don't just deal with it through the Twitter channels. Then go and report it. Putting it online to the world ain't proving nothing. So what was your whole intention of backing it? Just so you could prove that you're getting them mad DMs, or do you actually care about them enough to report them and then don't show anyone online? It's just.
That's why I don't tweet about it, because if I tweet, I'm like, guys, the most I'll say is, guys, chill out. You're making a mountain out of a molehill here. Because I feel like when I know I'm not doing it, but when people tweet these things or they post these things, I don't know if the meaning behind it is genuine.
Yeah, a lot of it's not. Unfortunately, it's not.
I don't want to find out. Sometimes, all right, cool. Like, if they're saying that, cool. If it's
better off to scroll past. Just scroll past.
Yeah, man, because you'll be really surprised by how people think sometimes, and honestly, these things are very simple. Just let people be who they are.
100%, man. I love the way you ended that segment, man. Yeah, just let people be who they are, man. That's how we started it. That's how we're gonna end that part. Facts, man. But yeah, let's move on. Let's move on to Everton, because it's not going to be a happy Christmas for Everton. I can tell you that much. I can tell you that much for a fact. Like, I know that already. So if you're an Evertonian, unfortunately, you're not going to be dreaming of a white Christmas. You're not going to be, Christmas is not coming to town. There's going to be no happy feelings in your household. 100%. I'm going to tell you why. Yes, they beat Wolves 4-0 on Tuesday, I think it was. Tuesday or Wednesday even, sorry. But I'm going to show you their next fixtures. Obviously, they got a big game coming up. Derby. Let me bring it up for you. This is only obviously for anyone that's on YouTube. If you're not on YouTube, then shame on you. But we'll read it out. We'll read it out for you. So their next fixtures is Liverpool, Saturday, 12:30. Arsenal, week Saturday, away. They then have Chelsea, Sunday, the 22nd of December. Boxing Day, they go to the Etihad.
This is a setup. That's mad. Oh my God, that's a setup and a half.
Yeah, it is crazy for them. It is absolutely crazy. I'm going to ask you a very, very simple question. How many points are Everton getting out of their next 4 games?
A very fantastic 0 out of 12, man. Sorry, man. I don't see a win for any of them. If they get a win or even a draw, I will applaud, because this is a horrible run of games. Liverpool are in form, top of the table. Arsenal away at the Emirates, you're not winning that, sorry. Chelsea are now in their stride. I don't think they're going to drop any points between then and now. Or now and then, rather. Yeah, sorry. Etihad away, yeah, City have had a tough time, but now they've got back on track. If they continue to win games between now and then, yeah, man, you're not going to be able to break the duck. That is
crazy, right?
Wow.
Crazy. So, like I said,
did you see the dash out sign in
I didn't, but I know that doesn't surprise me. This is why it doesn't surprise me, because they're 15th in the league currently at the moment. So they're not doing too bad. Another win, depending on if West Ham win or not this weekend, could take them into 14th and then so on and so on. They could climb up the table. But like you just said, I don't see them winning those games. And I do think there's 2 things actually I want to ask you, but I don't think they can afford to sack Sean Dyche. I don't think they can afford to sack him. Because Everton financially, I know there's been talk about the takeover and all the rest of it and whatever's going on, but I don't think they can afford to sack him this season. But I think they might have to, because I generally think this could be the season that they could go down. They could.
You know,
I'll tell you why in a minute. I want to hear your thoughts though.
thing is, you see the whole sacking thing here. The difficulty for these clubs is it might be a merry-go-round of just grabbing whoever is next. Like, I know Wolves fans have been really, really on Gary O'Neill's case as well. You've seen the videos of him getting abuse from the fans as well.
Yeah.
I think the only managers that don't have that sort of pressure on their necks are the promoted managers because, well, I say that Leicester sacked their manager, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I guess Ruben's there now, but he's got no pressure right now because he's just joined and he got a win on his first game. So that was big for him. But other than those guys, everyone else, if you sack again, if Everton sack Sean Dyche, who? If Wolves sack Gary O'Neill.
No, you're right.
I'm not saying you must by force stick with them, but
I suppose the two questions is because Leicester obviously they sacked Steve Cooper, they brought in Ruud van Nistelrooy. You look at Ruud van Nistelrooy now. I think he's going to get them playing some good football. I really do. Now, if they go on a good run, they'll take over Everton easily and pass them and whatever. I look at maybe Wolves, they might sack Gary O'Neill. If they bring in someone that we might not even have thought of or whoever, they might go on a good run. Then the new manager bounce might help them. Those 4 fixtures for Everton, if they stay where they are and they don't move and they stay on 14 points and the likes of Leicester, Crystal Palace, maybe Wolves start picking up a few points, even Ipswich, I can't really rule them out because I love Liam Delap. I think he's a really good player. I just think Ipswich are struggling. They've got 1 win in 14, but if they start picking up a couple of draws here or there and Everton just don't pick up anything, come February, end of January, February, they're still where they are. I think they might go down. I think this could be the season.
yeah, well, it could be, but it's the one thing they must avoid more than anything this year. Obviously, next year, you know where they're going.
Did you see the stadium though? The stadium's flooded. I don't think they're going there anytime soon. The rain. Now, did you see it? I'm not even taking a piss. Like
I did.
New stadium leaking like that.
What we're saying, Everton fans, is make sure you guys get that fixed before your stadium. So it's like a certain stadium in Manchester.
Get your wellies because you're gonna need them.
Get your wellies on quick. Have to hold an umbrella as well. Sitting down with them. Boy. No, look. Honestly, it's not like I feel like they've got more than the others. I just feel like there's a time in the season where after that run, it's a difficult run. But after that run, I think they'll get enough results to feel not comfortable, but comfortable enough to be like, okay, even though we're still in this race, losing won't be complete catastrophic unless they get too far. Everton are weird. The good thing about beating Wolves 4-0 is that they know that they can beat the contenders around them. Because Wolves will be one of the best sides around that sort of region of relegation battle. But yeah, if they were to get relegated, it would be catastrophic. The money you spend on that stadium, I don't think you can afford a relegation right now. Not even in the next 2 years.
It's not even just that though. I think some of the players like Branthwaite, Calvert-Lewin, McNeil, they'd all have to go. They're not staying in the Championship, so you'd lose a big core of your team. Obviously, Ashley Young, another player that's going to potentially retire at the end of the season. So yeah, I look at them and I just think not looking good for them. Not looking good at all for them. Not looking good at all for them.
No, not at all. I don't know. I don't know where they go from here. It's one of them ones where, look, this one right now. Let's just see what happens. And if I'm lucky, they spin it around on Liverpool. It's not gonna happen, but at least you can dream.
Listen, if they do that, listen, I'm driving to Goodison myself. I'm high-fiving everyone if they do that. Do us a favour, but I can't see it. I can't see it in the way that the form is.
We'll see, man. You'll be like me when Chelsea beat Man City in the final. Funny enough, I was in Fulham that day. So when I stepped out, I was like, Chelsea. Loving it. But yeah, man, stop the ops. Stop the ops, man.
Yeah,
But yeah,
no,
no,
it's crazy.
it'll be a disaster if they go with Mark. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting. Hopefully they don't. I mean, I said it last time they were there or thereabouts. I was like, it'd be horrible for the city because obviously, like, the derby is a big thing for the city. I think one of the oldest clubs still in top flight football, Everton. So to see them go down into the to be relegated, going into that new stadium, although it is screaming championship, that stadium. I'm not gonna lie, it does remind me a bit like the Rico and the old, like, you know, it feels like a championship. I've been there, even like around there, just championship all about it. But no, it'd be.
I don't say much effort. It takes effort to build a stadium, but does it look like the design of it isn't?
It's just. I mean, it looks from the outside, it's not too bad, but. And you can see it from miles away. I just think they need to, and they will get there eventually. They need to do around, a bit like Anfield. They need to do surrounding areas as well. You can't just build a nice, lovely, shiny new stadium, and then the other side is a bit mental across the street from it. You need to build around it and develop around the surrounding areas, make it a bit more commercial. You know, build a hotel nearby, something like that. It's just. It's in the middle of kind of the old Docklands, so there's not really much there, but they need to build around it. But it'd be good, man. I'm looking for, whether they're in the championship or not, I'll be going to that stadium just because it's there on my doorstep a little bit. So it's been half an hour drive, so I can get there quite easy. But I do think that the next 4 fixtures will sum up their season for me. I think they don't get at least 3 points out of the possible 12, then looking a bit shaky for them.
We'll see what they do, boy. But they might be in big trouble this year.
100%. I'm gonna wrap up there. We'll leave it there because I think it's been a good episode. Anyone that's listening, as I said, make sure you subscribe, you like the video, you leave your thoughts in the comments as well. Just discuss some really good things, man. I think sometimes you can't just talk about the results and the matches, man. You got to talk about things that are in and around the football as well as the actual matches itself as well. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to go to the audio version of the podcast as well and listen on your commutes to work or the gym or to the match, wherever you're going this weekend. Make sure you enjoy it, and we'll be back soon with another episode, man. Thanks for watching.